All right, let's get to the E9.
Yeah, E9
This is going to be a little
Chris.
fun. Okay, 9 fun questions, and we ask this to everyone. Which way do you want to go? You want to go? I'll let you pick.
Okay, I'm going to ask, give me, Chris, childhood crush. I know you've been married to your wife for a long time. You know, you guys go way back, but celebrity crush.
Whoa, celebrity crush. Wait, probably Suzanne Summers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could rephrase that. Like if you had a hall pass, let's just say.
And my wife's right here, and she looked at me like, no, Jamie Lee Curtis. It was Jamie Lee Curtis. She's right.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
That one scene in Trading Places, that was a pretty good one.
I like it. I love that she just told you what your celebrity crush was.
Like, no, dude, you're hall pass. You should say Jamie. Yeah. All right, I'll give you my first one here. All right, give me one guy on the Champions Tour that you weren't friends with before you got out there, but now that you gotten out there, your buddy's like, wow, this guy's cooler than I thought.
Oh, that's a hard one too, because everybody out here, there's really nobody out here I dislike, and there's I mean, I always got along with VJ. I mean, he gets a bad rap. It's such a good fraternity out here. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I didn't know, like a guy like Scott Perrell, who's one of the nicest guys in the world, but I had no idea who he was before I got out here. A guy named Mike Goodis, the same thing. A guy like Rob Labritz. I mean, just a super nice guy that, never would have an opportunity to do this, but the Champions Tour is affording him this, and he's taking advantage of it. It's guys like that. I mean, all the other guys I've played golf with so much and dealt with and did whatever. And, you have your days, you have your good days, your bad days with these guys, but ultimately they're like big brothers and little brothers, and you go on and make up and go to the next week.
Yeah,
man, I don't want to get older, but it seems really fun
out there. I quit a long time ago, but like when I turn 49, I might have to start practicing again.
I'll caddy for you.
I mean, I feel like they get it.
All right, Chris. Worst injury you've ever had in your career, and how did it happen?
So I think the worst injury was I had to have shoulder surgery, but I cracked a rib in my lower back the week before TPC, and I was skiing, and I had a backpack on, and I had a bottle of schnapps in there, and a couple of guys came out of the trees, and I kind of went down, and I first checked my wrists and my knees and my ankles, and all that was good, and then my back was just starting to hurt a little bit. So we skied down, and I started having a couple more beers, thinking that would go away, and actually the pain got a little worse. So I went and had an X-ray. Nothing was broken, but I had a really bruised rib, and it caused me to actually have a shoulder surgery later that year. But that's the one that I missed TPC that week, and I played Augusta literally. I was hitting 6-iron 155 yards just because I could barely swing.
Damn schnapps got in the way.
Did the schnapps survive?
Damn schnapps. Well, the funny thing is I had 2 in there, but we finished 1, so there was only 1 left. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad there was only 1 left. I probably would have hurt more of my back.
Yeah, well done. All right, next one for me here, Chris. Let's see. Ask me. I want to hear this one. Tell me about this recurring nightmare you used to have. I don't know if you still have it, about going on The Price is Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everybody has that, where you get on The Price is Right. And of course, you get there and it's for a new car, and, you answer all the questions, or you get up there and what's the game? The game's the putting game. This is before claw, by the way. And, you get up there and you're a foot from the hole, and, you ask what your profession is, and you say professional golfer, and then you miss the putt on national TV. That one was crazy. And yeah, that one, it doesn't happen anymore, thankfully, ever since I went to the claw, but that was before the claw. That was there for sure.
That was like, you had that over and over, being on The Price is Right, getting called up, getting like answering questions, getting a foot from the hole, and then not being able to kick it in.
Not be able to kick it in.
Forget having a foot putt to win the Masters. Price is Right. We got a problem.
Bob, I'm gonna look like an asshole in front of Bob.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. This one's a thinker. Have you won more PGA Tour tournaments or ejected more fans?
Ooh, I'd definitely say ejected more fans, without a doubt. Yeah, it's happened quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, and again, it takes a lot for that to happen for me. I mean, they've got to really be an asshole for me to eject them. I was pretty good at not necessarily listening to a lot, but since I would say the late '90s to now, I think the fans are trying to get more into the player's head. They're certainly a lot more obnoxious than they ever were before. I don't mind anybody yelling out, but when they're yelling out, bad things about you and nothing's positive. That's the kind of things that bother me. I don't care if they tell me I suck. That's fine. I don't care if I miss a green at 16 at TPC. I deserve to get booed. It's a 9-iron. I should get booed for that. And but don't tell me that my wife's fat or my this is that or whatever it is. Just keep it to golf.
They get a little personal sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and just inebriation is part of it. And it was funny. I was talking with a guy, Jeff Fujikara. You guys know Jeff, don't you?
I do. Mm-hmm.
And he's a Thunderbird, and we were talking about that. And I said, the easy way to solve it is you just put a couple hundred undercover cops in the stands at 16, and the first guy that says something he shouldn't have done, you throw him out. You throw 10 or 12 guys out, people are going to get the gist that you can only go so far. It's good for golf. I don't mind the hole. I think it's great. I think it's exciting. It's whatever it is. But I can tell you right now, any player that says he loves it is lying.
We might have the National Guard in here next year after what happened this year. There's just a few situations.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that jumps over and goes into the bunker on 16, like, you're banned for life. You're out of here. I'm done with you.
Should be, for sure. I agree. Yeah,
totally. Can't interrupt play.
Be loud. Yell after they hit. Don't yell while they hit. Don't yell crazy shit. It's not that hard. And you can drink all you want and have all the fun you want.
That's it. And they just push the envelope to the point where until somebody tells them they can't do it, they just push it to the end until it gets to that point. And it's usually just past the line, usually half the time.
All right, next one for me. This is here's a golf one here, because you would get referred to as a bulldog, right? Certain guys, certain type of golf games, he's a bulldog. Brian Harman comes to mind right now, right? Give me the Chris DiMarco top 3 bulldogs of all time on the PGA Tour.
I think like all time, like guys like me that
like not like a Georgia bulldog, like their style of play, they get called a bulldog.
Yeah, and right now,
or anytime, just guys that you think like this guy's a tough out, like he ain't gonna lay down and die, like the same way you were.
Probably not like the most powerful guy in the world.
Yeah,
one that's got to grind his way
hitters out and just get up and down.
Yeah, I mean, who was like that was Paul Azinger was like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Paul Azinger, he wanted that. I mean, the bigger the moment, especially when it was a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup, was huge like that. Even though he's not that vocal, David Toms is like that. I mean, that guy, you give him the ball when it matters, he's stepping on your neck, and he ain't afraid of the moment either. I'm trying to think of who else. So many guys that are like that. I mean, that are just Billy Horschel's like that.
Yeah,
Billy Horschel.
I agree.
He gets. You talk about somebody who gets fired up. That guy gets fired up. I love Max Homa. I think is a lot like that too. I love watching Max play. He gets fired up. I like the guys that show their emotions that aren't afraid to get crazy out there. Justin Thomas. I mean, he's awesome to watch. I love watching him, especially in the Ryder Cup and President's Cup, because he brings the emotion you need there. Even though my favorite guy in the world isn't in, and I'll only say the only time I kind of like him is at the Ryder Cups. That guy is Patrick Reed. I mean, I think he's a dick in life, but I think he's a great player. On the President's Cups and Ryder Cups, I think he's fantastic. I just think he works really hard to be an asshole.
He embraced that too, like being the villain. Like he loves that. That match with Rory, he was won all of it.
I mean, I don't deny his golf game. I think his golf game is awesome. It really is. But he just worked really hard to not really be liked.
Well, we can stay on the Ryder Cup for my next one. You played 2 President's Cup, 2 Ryder Cups. MVP of the after party.
Oh, MVP of the after party. Oh, God, that's a good one. I mean, probably me, for sure.
Nice. That's perfect. Yep.
Self-sub,
$20 into our cup here.
Yeah. I remember the one in at the K Club. Every time I'd walk out of the bar with a full beer, Tiger was doing DJ, and he'd say CD, and I'd go over and just go chug my beer, and I have to go back and get another one. So he was having a good time that night too, even though we got smashed. But we got smashed twice. We got smashed that afternoon, and then we got smashed that night.
Sidebar: this doesn't count as a question. Tiger's the DJ. What's Tiger playing?
Oh, I know this answer.
Oh shit! What would Tiger play? It was.
I need to know this.
He was. I don't. I don't listen to that kind of music. Like as far as I'm not a rap guy, but I'm sure it was something to that extent, some type of, back, that would have been 06. I don't even know who was big back then in 06. Who is it? It's Drake.
Nice. Good pull. Back in 2006, Drake, that was the golden era.
Who's Beyonce married to?
Jay-Z, T.I.
Maybe some Jay-Z.
Lil Wayne. Yeah.
He's
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne was monstrous.
Every time I've been around him, it's always like 90s hip hop, and he'll throw some R&B in there.
No,
too.
I love that.
Yeah, I know it's your style.
That's beautiful. That was the golden era. All right, that didn't count as a real question, Chris. My last one, real question, two-parter here. Okay, which tour player do you dread talking to the most after their alma mater beats Florida in football, and who do you look forward to talking to the most after Florida beats their school?
It's almost the same person, but I love when we win and Jeff Sluman or Paul Azinger, both Florida State guys. So when we beat Florida State, and then I hate when and he's great about it, but I because they've beaten us so many years. But David Toms, and he's doesn't say a bad word once, but it's so annoying that he has just beaten my butt. The Gators have lost to them so many times.
Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough conference to come up out of golf-wise, because it's just like, man, they're just killers every year. I mean, Florida's been it too, but you got Georgia, LSU. I mean, there's just somebody's going to be sweet every year. There's so many Georgia Bulldogs.
Bama. Kisner and all the Harris English, and Hudson Swafford, and all those guys. Tommy Tolles in my era. It's Georgia Bulldog. Those were Georgia and Tennessee were the two schools my kids were not allowed to go to for college. Anywhere else they could go, but they couldn't go there.
I like that.
All right, last one. We're going to go back to the 1988 U.S. Amateur. Okay. Which decision would you like to have over again? Would you have actually liked to book a hotel room or not given Buddy Alexander your Walkman?
I think I probably would have liked to have booked my my hotel room, but he did come back with a great response, because I said, Buddy, I think I'm going to need that Walkman back when we were playing each other the next day. And he goes, I think I'm going to need those irons back. And I said, yeah, you can keep the Walkman tonight. You're fine.
They had to play each other.
Because I was using the university irons.
Yeah. So Buddy Alexander was his coach at Florida. They had to play each other in the second round of the U.S. Amateur, and they were rooming together because Chris didn't book a hotel room.
Nice. A little bit awkward. A little bit awkward. Do you like your scholarship? Would you like to keep it?
So Buddy said his Walkman broke, and so Chris let him use his each night to listen to it. And then they end up playing each other, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need my Walkman back." He goes, "Well, I'm gonna need those irons back.
I'm gonna need all the shit in your dorm back. I'm gonna need it all back."
Exactly.
How'd the match end up? Forgive me that I don't know.
He waxed me. He played some good mind games with me for sure. But he was really good at that type of format. Obviously, he was a U.S. Amateur champion, so he won in '86, and that was only 3 years later that we played each other.
Well, I can tell you this. I talked to him for a little bit this afternoon. He speaks so highly of you. He loves you. Said one of the most fierce competitors he's ever had on his golf team.
Yeah, he taught me a lot about the game. I owe him a lot to that. He taught me how to play the game. I was natural. I had my ability, but he taught me about what the game of golf was and how to play the game of golf. And for that, I owe him a lot, because he was really good at it.
That's one of the all-time great.